Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Stop saying that! Hello! My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die!
Now! Offer me money. Yes. Power to promise me that. All that I have and more. Please. Offer me everything I ask for. Anything you want. I want my father back, you son of a bitch.
Welcome to the Make Movies Great Again podcast, the only show in the universe with the sole mission of destroying cynicism at the box office. Here are your hosts, Matt, Adam, and Sean.
Welcome to the Make Movies Great Again podcast. My name is Matt Vieira, and here with me is
Sean.
And Adam.
We're all three of us are here this week.
I'm back
Welcome
from the
back,
dead.
Sean.
Back from the dead. Welcome back,
Call
Sean.
me Jon Snow.
Welcome back.
Really bummed I missed last week's episode, but nice job, you guys.
Well, we fucked up a lot of things that you would have set us straight on.
No, you didn't fuck up. You just had the wrong opinion.
Well, Adam said that Billy Crystal was in Blazing Saddles, and then I looked it up and confirmed that Billy Crystal was in Blazing Saddles.
Well, does he have a small role?
I think I might have been looking at something
Because he's
different.
not the main character.
No, because I think what happened was I searched on Google. I searched Billy Crystal Blazing Saddles, and I hit images, and then it popped up Billy Crystal. So that was bad. That was
I'm
bad.
like texting you while I'm listening to it. I was like, no.
That was bad sleuthing on my end.
It's funny. No, yeah, you were thinking of City Slickers, which is a sin that Adam doesn't like Billy Crystal.
I don't like him.
I know.
So you don't like?
We're aware.
You don't like the very movie that we introed in on today,
What movie was that?
Princess Bride?
Oh, Sean, you're gonna punch me in the face, but I've actually never seen it.
What a moron!
What an idiot. Wait, what does Princess Bride have to do with Billy Crystal?
He's in it.
Who is he in it?
He's the miracle worker.
Oh, right. It's not a huge role.
He's only partly
Yeah,
dead.
okay,
He's
okay,
not
okay.
all dead.
Yeah, okay. Well, Adam, then you probably wouldn't want to see that anyway. All right,
Andre the Giant's in it, so that washes it out for me. I'd still see it.
Mandy Patinkin is awesome in it.
Antiope?
Oh, yeah. She's the Princess Bride, right?
Yeah,
She
Princess
is.
Buttercup. You guys know what it is. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the people who are listening, who me and Sean just waxed poetically about how many people could be listening right now. We hope it's in the millions. For all you millions of listeners out there, you want to go over to our iTunes and leave us a nice little review. Make it a movie quote, and we'll play it on the show. 5 stars is great. 1 star is even better. If you want to hate us, we don't care.
Hate us.
Hate us. We got a movie club episode coming next, right after this. It's going to be in your iTunes subscription box, so check it out. It's on Okja. It's a Netflix original movie starring Paul Dano, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, starring Tilda Swinton, starring Gus
Yep.
from Breaking Bad.
Steve Yeun.
Yes.
Yuen.
Yeah, Glenn from The Walking Dead. So we'll be talking about that in the movie club. We have another movie picked for next week's movie club, but we're not going to tell you right here. The only way you're going to be able to find out is if you listen to Movie Club, the Okja episode, or better, subscribe to our mailing list, and you'll get on Tuesdays we send out our Movie Club email, so you have a little less than a week, 6 days to watch the movie before the next one. Plenty of time.
Listen, it's got the trailer. It's got original artwork done by our very own Adam.
Which, Adam,
Right.
your one for Okja is the best one you've done yet. And I'm not saying that the other ones weren't good. The other ones were excellent, but this is just another plane of existence. It was excellent.
Yeah, that one was my favorite one. I did it before I saw the movie, and it was like, it ended up being like, I don't know. It's my favorite one so far.
Yeah, it's great. Yep. So check that out. You can get to it by going to theaveragenobodies.com, and there's a little tab called Movie Club. You can go there, or if you'd like to just type in the link, it's bit.ly/join movie club. It's very simple, and all you have to do is put your name and your email. That's it. All we need is a first name and an email, and you'll get our movie club. It's pretty cool, actually. I think it's pretty cool. I open every single one. I also
I do.
make it, so
Yes.
it's a little it's kind of nepotism or whatever. It's my baby.
I like it.
All right, so let's hop right into trailers of the week. I have to confess, I put Wrinkle in Time on here, but I don't think we're gonna have any time to really talk about it.
I'll just say that I'm excited about it. How about that?
The Wrinkle in Time, it looks good. Check it out, but I want to get right into the next two. So, Infinity War and Blade Runner. The funny thing about the Infinity War teaser is that it actually is not out yet. It's just been a lot of people describing it to me via YouTube video. Have you guys heard the description of it?
Yeah.
I've heard it was awesome, and I forgot who I was following. I think it might have been Comic Converse. They're a Twitter feed that I follow, similar to ours, with a handful more followers though, and they were like live tweeting, watching it, and it sounded so awesome. Like what they were tweeting sounded so awesome. It sounded fake. Like it sounded like somebody was making it up.
Like there's no way they would be showing that in the trailer type of thing.
Right. Exactly.
It opens up to the Guardians flying through space, and they come across like Thor's body just floating in space.
Whoa.
So they're the assholes that bring him to Earth?
Yeah. Or I think maybe Thor's like, maybe they're like, where? So I gotta assume we're gonna find out why Thor's floating around in space towards the end of Ragnarok.
Thor?
Yeah, Thor.
Oh, Thor.
No, not Thanos.
I thought you said Thanos.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
Thor. So I assume we'll figure out why Thor's just hanging out in the middle of space, at the end of Ragnarok.
True.
But that's interesting. It's very, very interesting. So I gotta assume that like Thor, they're kind of like, Thor, where you want to go, and he's like, take me to the Earth, even though he can kind of just fly wherever he wants. But maybe he's like missing hammer, Milnor. How do you say it?
Mjolnir?
Mjolnir. What'd you say, Adam?
Somebody tweeted, and this sounded made up to me, but I saw it tweeted from more than one account that at one point in the trailer, Thanos throws a planet.
Throws a planet at the Avengers.
I did not see that. I just when the guy I listened to, he said like they showed some awesome like fight scenes, but he actually is in action. He throws a planet.
I guess so.
An entire planet. Excellent.
I bet it was a dwarf planet.
So here's the thing. So are we expected to believe now that he starts the movie with all the Infinity Stones, or like he quickly gets them all?
What happens to Vision?
So I was actually reading. That's what I was kind of getting at. So I think I was reading something where they're kind of being ambiguous on whether Vision can live or not without the stone. I'm guessing that he probably can.
Well, what about Doctor Strange has one of the Infinity Stones around his neck, and we don't even know where one of them. Well, we don't know where one is.
Yeah, we do.
Right?
We kind of do. What's his name has it?
Heimdall.
Yeah, Heimdall. I think that's what we I think that's a pretty solid thesis.
Definitely theorized
Hypothesis.
I feel like Vision can't live without. Like when he's getting made, like they literally dropped the stone.
Yeah, to like bring him to life. Maybe he loses powers. Maybe he's just like a normal guy and he has to like stop fighting crime.
Yeah, he's gotta be a waiter or a busboy or something.
he's gotta pick up crocheting and just live a normal life in the mountains with a horse. Don't bother anybody.
Hey, speaking of that Vision, can I just drop a little thing? I don't know if I can't remember if you guys mentioned
Drop a thing.
In Spider-Man: Homecoming, do you know the person who plays the voice in Spider-Man's suit?
I do.
Who is it, Adam?
Jennifer Connelly.
Do you know who she is?
AKA the real-life wife of Paul Bettany, who is Vision and Jarvis.
Really?
Who was the voice in Iron Man's suit?
Yeah,
Until he became Vision.
Really?
Yeah, his wife.
That's interesting.
Isn't that cool?
That's really. Do you think that Paul Bettany was like when they gave him the role as Jarvis? They're like, hey, listen, we want to give you this role. Possibility for rapid expansion.
Yeah.
Like possibility for you to get millions and millions of dollars in a gigantic set of movies.
No, you know what? They were probably like, listen, we're going to keep your salary the same. We're going to switch your role now because you made so much money for doing just a voice from the first 3 Iron Men and the Avengers. So now we're going to load you up with all these prosthetics and makeup for less screen time.
That's actually a great point.
There's no way that's live action Paul Bettany.
Some of it is.
Really?
Yes, some of it is.
I figured it was like the dots they do a circus. And
no, a lot of that is like legit makeup, like Batista goes through a shit ton of makeup.
No,
before
but I don't know. Like he just Bettany's character.
Yeah,
vision, just as
I think it's
emotionless.
I think it's a latex.
It's like a
yeah.
like he doesn't show.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, but imagine that though, going from like you show up to work in sweatpants and a t-shirt and you do your voice lines to having to dress up like Vision.
Yeah, it must suck, huh?
Yeah, I know it must be terrible. Hey. And then, so let's not go too far into the rabbit hole of Marvel because we got a little bit to talk about in movie news about that too. But also, Blade Runner dropped a new trailer. It was awesome. Did you guys see it?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
It was awesome. So Deckard's being hunted down. That looks like what's the gist of 2049 is going to be.
Yeah.
He's being hunted down. So for whatever reason, we don't know yet.
Looks good.
Is he a replicant?
Yes, he is. That's confirmed, is it
Think
not?
so?
Is it confirmed? I don't think it's confirmed.
Harrison Ford.
I think
I don't think the Harrison Ford's character is confirmed.
No, it's
might be
confirmed.
replicant.
Is it confirmed from the first movie?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I thought that was a big. I thought that. I mean, from when I've seen it, the numerous times I've seen Blade Runner, I thought it was pretty ambiguous.
I don't think Deckard's a replicant.
I know that's like one of the big theories, but I don't think it's confirmed.
Pretty sure it was confirmed by the director.
Oh well, afterwards. Oh well, that's different.
You're different.
You're different.
You know what I really like about this trailer is that all this I guess you got it, the cinematography and the score are like they're so sci-fi to me, and I love it. I love the different color schemes in the different scenes, like the orange, yellow of the desert, and then like the deep blues and grays of when they're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That to me is what I'm really looking forward to. The visuals in this movie, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Color palette.
Yes. Color.
Yes,
palette,
thank you.
yes. And the score is awesome. It's like so synthy and like sci-fi-ish. I love it. All right, let's get into movie news.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
So before we get going, we're gonna have to do some. We're gonna have to say goodbye to a couple of people. It's unfortunate.
Worst part of the show.
Yep, worst part of the show. Although it gets us the most retweets.
Sick world we live in. It's the worst part of the show.
So George Romero passed away at 77. Obviously, one of the he's the father of the zombie genre.
Oh man.
There's numerous things we could say about him. It was cool because on social media there was a bunch of of his students, not like actual students, but people that took his style and ran with it. I'm not gonna say copycats, but all his people that took his style and went with it. Guillermo del Toro, Nicotero, who does Walking Dead, and among other things, Stephen King, Eli Roth, all did little tributes to him, which I thought was cool, to kind of the horror community coming together. So rest in peace to George Romero. And then also Martin Landau, which he passed away today at 89.
Is that today?
Yeah. So Martin, I have a little thing. He's worked in over 60 films and about 60 TV credits. But Adam, do you know what my favorite Martin Landau role is?
Hold on. Yes, I do. From Ready to Rumble.
Yes. Sal Bandini, want to wrestle?
Yes.
I was like, at first I didn't I guess I had to put two and two together, but I saw his picture and I was like, yeah, he's Sal Bandini from Ready to Rumble. Sal Bandini, want to wrestle? Oh my God, I love that. So anyway, rest in peace to Martin Landau. Rest in peace, George Romero. Unfortunate.
I wonder how Samuel L. Jackson feels about the Martin Landau passing. I'm pretty sure he hates him.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Why?
Because Samuel L. Jackson didn't win an Oscar for Pulp Fiction the year.
Oh, Ed Wood's, right? Or whatever that movie was?
Yeah.
He also beat out Gary Sinise as Lieutenant Dan that year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. How about he? I have never seen that movie with Landau, but
Must be amazing.
it must be amazing if he beat out Lieutenant Dan and Jules.
Yeah, seriously.
So you must not wonder how Samuel L. Jackson feels about it.
So he's probably psyched about it.
Hey,
Does the Oscar pass down to him now?
No, I don't think that's how.
wills it
Imagine
to
if that's how it works.
That's how it works.
Last person alive gets all the Oscars in the categories. Last person alive gets all the Oscars. Oh man. You know what though? He got him back. I heard that Martin Landau was in the running for Nick Fury.
Oh yeah, was he?
Also, his role in Django.
Oh god.
All right. So the other big news that this is really it, huh? We got one more thing, but the big news right now before Comic-Con. So Comic-Con's happening next week. D23, which is basically like Disney's Comic-Con, and obviously now Disney has been collecting companies over the last 10, 20 years. They own Marvel. They own now Star Wars, obviously, and they've been churning out movies every year. So there's a ton of stuff going on at D23. So that's where we first got to look at. Josh Brolin showed up with, he's Thanos. He had his Infinity Gauntlet, which is pretty awesome. You should go on our Twitter. We retweeted a bunch of stuff from this, so you can go there and look at it. They also put out a bunch of information about the Infinity War movie, like how Thanos has 4. He calls it his children. It's called the Black Order. Adam, you know anything about these guys?
I know nothing about them, but I did want to add something I saw on social media that I thought was really clever regarding Thanos, Josh Brolin. Somebody called him Josh Swollen because he's enormous
Looks
right now.
yoked.
Yeah, so I was showing Lindy the picture on Instagram of him holding the gauntlet because I thought the gauntlet was so awesome. And she's like, wow, he's jacked. And I'm like, yeah, he's playing Cable. Like, I was like, he's jacked because he's playing Cable. And I showed Lindy who Cable was, and she's like, okay, I get it. Okay, I can do it. Although he's like, I feel like he's big, but his Cable is going to be totally different than what a comic book Cable looks like. But I'm still excited for that, too.
Isn't Gamora one of his daughters?
That's what I was reading when I was reading the article. So is Nebula.
Yeah.
Adopted daughters. They're not like true. But
one of his favorite daughters, though, according to him.
Yes, but these people aren't his true spawn either. I don't think he has any actual spawn. Do you know about that, Adam?
No.
No, I don't think he has any actual spawn. I think he these are like his. The Black Order. They're just 4 villains. They're like his 4 horsemen, I guess.
I bet that's how I defeat him. They bring up his sterility.
Thanos, you can't procreate.
And he runs away.
Well, he's also
Fertile Thanos.
also his mistress is Death, and I'm pretty sure she's
Mistress
spitting.
is Death?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure she's spitting out dust. So maybe it's her fault.
Jesus.
So it's I'm gonna try and read these names. Some of them are kind of crazy. It's Corvus Glaive, who I read a little bit about him. He's a guy that Thanos sends out to get treasures on other planets. So I think he was one of the people tasked with finding the Infinity Stones.
These guys don't sound scary. Can I just preface this?
Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw, and Black Dwarf, who is in the statues they showed. If again, go to our Twitter and look at these pictures. They have pictures of all these guys. Black Dwarf, is that an idiom when you say something's, when you say you call him you call someone tiny but he's fucking enormous? Oxymoron. Yeah. Whatever. And then so this guy Black Dwarf is 2 times, almost 3 times the size of Thanos.
Gotcha.
Wow.
He's massive. So he's the typical the bodyguard or whatever, the muscle.
I don't know. These sound like if you were filming a Jack Black movie and you're just let him run with creating names for villains.
Ebony Maw.
Corvus Glaive.
So anyway, those are Thanos's his little. So I assume, and correct me if I'm wrong or whatever you guys think. I assume Thanos is gonna have these 4 guys running around this movie, and he's gonna do some of the fighting, and I'm sure these 4 guys will be taken out by the Avengers, and then the 4th Avengers movie will just be strictly Thanos.
You don't think we'll have Thanos full on this movie?
I think we'll get some Thanos full on this movie as well, but I think that it's gonna be
His lackeys.
Yeah, his lackeys first, because I was wondering how they were going to stretch into 2 movies. I'm sure he'll be, because obviously he might be all talk if he goes into Ultron, at the end of Ultron, when he's like, I should just do it myself, or whatever. What does he say, Adam? I'll do it myself.
Yeah, you're fine. I'll do it myself.
Yeah. So if he doesn't put his money where his mouth is on that, then he's a little bitch.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm sure we'll see a lot of Thanos, but I think they're gonna have to like go through these 4 first. I don't see these 4 guys making it to Infinity War 4.
Yeah.
Or Avengers 4. I just don't see it. A couple other teasers. Don Cheadle teased that War Machine will be returning, but he's gonna have like an exoskeleton help him walk.
I mean, like what he had to help him fly,
AKA his War Machine suit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's much of a teaser there, Don.
I mean,
But
so his back is broken.
Well, I think what he means is like outside of his War Machine suit, he's gonna have to wear like an exoskeleton. Like, do you ever see like those things they give to?
Oh, Wild Wild West.
Yes. A
spider bot.
Just a spider. Dude, that would be something.
Spider-Man gets super jealous.
Man, that would be something. That would be awesome. They also, so that was the other thing. They in the trailer, the new Infinity Wars trailer, Spider-Man has a Spidey sense.
Yeah.
And the Iron Spider suit.
Yes, he's wearing the one that they
so
showed.
So happy that he didn't end up with that in the end.
Yeah,
But they left that out for the.
I loved when he went back to the sweatshirt and the goggles. Yeah. Like that was awesome.
Yeah, but you know what? And again, this is me like bumming that I missed the last episode. But like, how do you not take your hoodie off? How do you not cut the hood off?
Oh, I know
it's
what you mean.
Flopping around in the air.
It's to the effect. We actually, I told you what happened with our spoiler cast of Spider-Man, right? Me and Adam were hot on it for 10 minutes, and then I realized I didn't hit record, so we fucked ourselves.
That was good.
Another little thing from D23, they're saying that Hulk's going to have a major storyline in 3 and 4, which is great because he fucking takes off in Ultron and never comes back. So, and we see him obviously we'll see him in Ragnarok, but I need more action on Thor. We were just you and I were just talking about how he hasn't gotten his own standalone movie because Ed Norton and Eric Bana ones were kind of shit.
Yeah, they were kind of, well, yeah.
Ed Norton one was miles ahead of.
I think I'm the only person in the world that thinks that's one of the better ones. I like that.
I like the Edward Norton one. I don't like the Eric Bana one.
Edward Norton one was good.
Yeah, the Eric Bana one though is not my favorite superhero movie.
Yeah, I agree. But they also talk about how he's just better as a standalone. Like anything that, I'm sorry, he's just better as a team. Like anything that the Hulk can't beat on his own. You need to have like the Avengers there.
Sure.
Like otherwise, any enemy Hulk can just crush, and it's just. I mean, literally the only like in the standalone, it was just other Hulk.
Did you notice that? Did you know? What were you saying, Adam?
Hulk with spikes.
I said no, it's just Hulk with spikes.
Yeah.
Abomination in
Abomination.
Also, shout out to Tim Roth for being awesome in that movie.
Yeah, he was good in that movie.
I liked that movie.
For listening, Tim.
Did you guys?
Thanks, Tim.
Did you guys notice in Spider-Man: Homecoming? Did you notice? This is spoilers, so close your ears for like 30 seconds.
Earmuffs.
Did you happen to hear like when when Happy Hogan's packing up the plane, he says he brings the Hulkbuster armor with him?
Yeah.
Made an appearance in the trailer that was released.
The Hulkbuster armor makes an appearance?
Yeah, I saw somebody tweet Hulkbuster's back.
Really?
Yeah.
So did they say what? I
don't know.
Wow. So against the Hulk or?
No, probably against Thanos.
Wow. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, why do you have this? What do you call it? Was it Adam? What was it? Victoria or something? It was like the code name Victoria was the Hulkbuster armor.
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it was Victoria. He calls down Victoria and.
Should have named it Liv Tyler's character
to help out. Oh, that's a good. But I don't think. Yeah.
Betty Ross.
Betty Ross.
How the fuck do you remember that?
Yeah, because Thunderbolt Ross, right? Thunder. What's the father's name? This lieutenant.
General Ross.
Yeah, General Ross.
But
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I think his name's Thunderbolt. Look it up.
I don't think it's Thunderbolt.
If it's not, it should be.
It definitely should be.
It is. It absolutely is. Look, Thunderbolt Ross. Look it up. Thaddeus E. Thunderbolt Ross. Look it up.
Okay.
See
you
that?
got me. You got me. It is definitely Thaddeus.
Sure. It's probably known for. I don't think he said Thunderbolt in the thing, but I remember looking that up. So lots of stuff with the Avengers. I gotta assume this trailer is gonna come out when Comic-Con starts. So it's gonna be out soon. Hopefully we'll be able to actually talk about it and break it down next week when we podcast. The last thing on movie news before we get into is this good or bad? The Nolan Batman trilogy is being remastered in 4K. This is not as exciting for most people because most people don't have 4K TVs, so who gives a fuck? But does that mean that are we going to get a re-release in theaters of the Batman trilogy? Kind of like how they remastered the prequels of Star Wars and then re-released them in theaters.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. Imagine they like added more like
Extra scenes, like the deleted scenes.
yeah, or just like extra things in the background, like they did for the remastered Star Wars, like extra aliens.
Oh God, that would be terrible.
You know. I'm not interested in this. I think the Nolan trilogy is damn near perfect.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it again.
I would like to see.
I'd love to see it
like
again in theater, but
yeah.
I don't care that it's in 4K.
No, I don't think anybody cares. I mean, people that have 4K TVs and 4K Blu-ray players are excited about this because it's gonna look fantastic. But for our 1080p peasant TVs, we don't care about this.
Right.
But if it was gonna be back in theaters, like if you told me that I could see Dark Knight this weekend, I would probably go to an IMAX and see Dark Knight. The way I saw it the first time in Virginia Beach with you guys.
Oh,
If somebody told me I could go back and watch The Dark Knight, but in theaters again in IMAX, but I had to close one eye the whole time, I'd still go.
you had to just listen. I feel like when we all saw that down in Virginia, I feel like we were so unassuming about going to see it. We were just like, yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Oh, the next one will
and
be
then
IMAX.
and then
that's
it
cool.
ended up being ridiculous
From the opening scene.
and it was amazing.
I remember the IMAX, being in the IMAX, and the scene where the truck flips, and being like, "Holy shit!" I remember the feeling that evoked.
That was awesome.
I remember the opening shot of
The opening scene.
swooping over swooping over the city as the clowns are breaking into the bank. It's like
We probably should have gone to that same theater for the third one. We probably should have.
I think we saw Adam. You were with me, right? Or Sean, I think you were with me too. We saw the third one in IMAX in Providence, right?
Yeah, it might have.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think we all saw it together because I think that was the night we all got hammered, and I was laying on my kitchen floor with Ryan, just reciting Bane lines, but not various Bane lines, just the same ones over and over again.
We only saw it once, so you got
so we can only remember.
we have a limited arsenal.
Okay, so let's get into is this good or bad?
Is this good or bad?
I'm so glad we have like a perfect home for that because it's so good.
And I seem to find something like new every week to like help with this. So Tyrese Gibson, we know him better as Roman from the Furious movies.
You know, I thought we were gonna go an entire episode without mentioning Fast and Furious.
Sean,
I saw this
it'll never
and I was
happen.
like,
It'll never happen.
it never happened. It'll always be in.
Well, also, if we're talking about our favorite movies from the first half of 2017, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I got to imagine Fate of the Furious shows up somewhere. And also showed up on our Twitter today too, because we're doing the Charlize Theron Actor Madness.
Ridiculous.
And she was in the new movie. Anyway,
This is becoming like 6 degrees of Fast and Furious.
6 degrees of Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyrese Gibson confirmed that he met with Warner Brothers for Green Lantern Corps. So it's the Warner Bros. Movie that's coming out. It's so Adam, correct me if I'm wrong. Green Lantern is not like Hal Jordan. Green Lantern is not getting his own movie yet. The next movie for Green Lanterns is this one. It's Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's gonna be a bunch of Green Lanterns now.
But like nobody really knows what who it could be. I saw something describing it as Lethal Weapon in space with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
Okay.
Oh.
So it'd be both of them.
So now
Space cops.
I read a couple of the not Green Lantern Corps, but I read it's called Green Lanterns, and it's about 2 new Green Lanterns that they have. One of them is Simon Baz, and the other one is Jessica Cruz. Simon Baz, B-A-Z, happens to be a black guy, and Jessica Cruz is obviously a female, Latina.
Okay.
And so that's what originally like popped into my head.
That's cool.
Who was the other guy, Adam? You said Hal Jordan. Who's the other guy?
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
Is Jon Stewart like primarily a white guy in the comics?
black.
He's black.
Yeah, he's a black
And
guy.
I remember when Ryan Reynolds was cast as Green Lantern, and I know very little about comics.
Yeah.
But I knew Green Lantern in like the cartoons that I grew up watching.
Yeah, he's black.
He was black, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's."
It was
weird.
always Jon Stewart.
I remember
right?
being weirded out by that.
Well, that's the thing. He was Jon Stewart.
And I didn't know that there were 2 different I did again, very little knowledge on this stuff. I thought they just, casted a white guy as a black character. Like I thought it was like, wow, that's kind of I thought that was kind of weird. When I found out there was like way more than one, like that's cool. But just to continue with this, I think this is good.
Yeah.
I think this is good. This is not bad.
I would this is definitely good. I like Tyrese Gibson. I think he would play an interesting. There's not a lot of like pure levity in the Justice League. Yeah. Like there's like Batman is funny but very dark funny, and he doesn't intentionally be funny. Wonder Woman has got like that like she's very serious all the time, and you got Aquaman and Flash, and we haven't really seen much of either of them yet. Yeah. But Tyrese Gibson might play perfectly and like really balance out the team. Could be really funny.
I think that'd be great. And honestly, I like the idea of 2 Green Lanterns.
Yes.
I was thinking about this last week, and I'm sorry I keep coming back to Spider-Man. But first of all, I love the movie. But secondly, did you guys catch the Easter egg? And I didn't catch it. I had to look it up. But with Donald Glover's character?
Yes, Adam and I were talking about that.
Okay. Yeah. I thought I remember you guys talking about this. And his nephew?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Miles.
Imagine 2 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's what they could do together.
It's gonna happen.
So, like, I'm kind of curious about, like, why not have 2 Green Lanterns? Imagine, like, just the, I don't know, the combos they could do.
I assume there's gonna be even more than just 2 in the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, well, of course.
Of
course.
Well, there's there's all the Green Lanterns from the other sectors, the other planets, but then there's 2 more human Green Lanterns.
So it can't just be 1 per species?
It's just it gets the ring gets passed around like so.
Sectors.
So 1 ring.
Yeah, John Stewart takes over as Green Lantern, but Hal Jordan is still a Green Lantern, but he has to go to another sector, something like that. But there's also Kyle Rayner and Guy Gardner, also both white guys, also from Earth. So there's 4 Green Lanterns plus the 2 Matt mentioned. So 6.
And the two that I mentioned are also from Earth. Because in the comics, I read them for a while. I think I read up to like issue 15 starting last year, but they start on Earth because Hal Jordan has to leave, but for some reason they needed 2 lanterns in this area. Like there was 1 ring that was Hal Jordan's that was given to Simon Baz, and then I believe the other one was acquired by someone who came to Earth and like gave it to Jessica Cruz.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Jessica Cruz also, in another Justice League book, I don't want to go too deep here, she also sacrifices herself for the Flash.
Yeah. Her and the Flash got a thing going on.
Yeah. So, maybe she'll show up later on. Her and Ezra Miller. Okay. Let's get into our main topic today. Okay, so we're halfway through the year. We're actually more than halfway through the year, which is unsettling of how fast time goes by now that we're old and washed up.
Every day it goes quicker.
So let's talk about this year's movies so far. Let's talk about our favorites. We're only gonna go from January to June, all the way through June, the end of June. So let's just go around the table and let's just like get them out there, and then we'll talk about them.
Okay.
So some of my favorites, I'm gonna throw them out there: Get Out, Baby Driver, King Arthur, Patty Cakes, Free Fire, Hot Summer Nights.
I've seen 2 of those.
So we'll go back into it. Sean, what were your picks?
I put 3 on here: Get Out, Baby Driver, and Wonder Woman in the first half of the year.
Adam, what about you?
I've got Wonder Woman, Get Out, Split, Alien Covenant, Lego Batman, and Life.
Excellent. So it looks like we all have Get Out on our list.
Get Out on.
So
here.
yeah, so let's start with Get Out. What did we like about Get Out?
What didn't we like about it?
Well, no, so I want to do this where why does that now halfway through the year? Because there was a lot of movies, and I do this a lot too. When I do this a lot when I go see a movie like right afterwards. Yeah. I really enjoy it, but then after a few weeks, like my kind of like, the rose-colored glasses, I guess, wear off or whatever. Right. So what makes Get Out? Because that's on all 3 of us have Get Out on it. I think that's the only movie, right?
Yeah.
I liked Get Out so much because A, it was a legitimately awesome movie, and B, nobody saw it coming. Like I remember seeing trailers and being like, "Huh, this looks pretty interesting." I'm like, I'm not a big horror movie type of guy, but
Oh, you don't say.
I could be intrigued.
And you think that was horror?
trailers, I was like, yeah I kind of want to see this. And then when it started, all reviews and everything started coming out a couple of days, like the hype machine started going a couple of days before it actually came out, I was like, I'm definitely getting tickets. I'm seeing this.
Yeah, I think I love movies like that. And I feel like this year there's a lot of movies on these lists that we put out that have done that. Wonder Woman maybe being one. I'm sure Wonder Woman had way more hype leading up to it than Get Out did, but I think it did. I think nobody is guessing that now it's the third most grossing movie in Warner Brothers history as of today.
Wow.
Like that's like nobody saw that coming, and the same thing would Get Out. This was on nobody's radar. I remember seeing a trailer for it like in the fall of last year and just being like, yeah, this kind of like this looks interesting.
I remember wanting to see it, but there was so little given about it, so little information given about it. And I think that I feel the same way about upcoming Wind River. I keep getting the name.
Oh yes, Wind River. Yeah.
Something else I don't know a lot about, but I'm gonna see, and I'm curious to see how it turns out. And I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it on the head, Adam. Like just going to that movie and being genuinely shocked. Like they didn't show him kicking anybody's ass in the trailers.
Yeah.
Like kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, you had no idea. It was just somebody repeating, "Get out, get out, get out." Quick cuts, like him staring into nothingness. The trailer showed next to nothing.
Yeah, and also I think the message in this day and age.
Yeah. It resonated pretty good. But that's the Get Out is the type of movie that when you go to the movie theater, that's what you hope to see. You hope that it surprises you out of your seat like Get Out did.
And it was also just well done. It was well written, well directed.
I can't wait to see what Jordan Peele comes out with next, because his quality of work now is just so good that I know that he's gonna bring this to the next one.
He Mel Brooksed it. He started with Blazing Saddles. He Mel Brooksed it.
Even though we thought it was Young Frankenstein. So I'd like to talk about one on my list that I don't think you guys have seen. Patty Cakes.
I have not seen it.
So I saw Patty Cakes at South by Southwest earlier this year, and it was awesome. It's about this this kind of like overweight girl that lives in New Jersey. Like she's just like a kind of like lives in like the ghetto, and she likes to rap. Like that's all she wants to do is rap. Okay. This little white girl like just wants to rap, and she has this like kid who's her best friend who's Indian, like has the Indian accent and everything, and he's like her hype man. So he goes in like when she goes to her like recording sessions, which is like when she records in her bedroom, like he just gets on and like does like the DJ stuff and some of the choruses stuff. Yeah. But it's such a charming movie, and it's like a follow your dreams, like never give up movie. Like it's so awesome. I don't know, it went in theaters for a little bit, I believe back in April, but if you happen to see, this is one of those movies that it'll catch fire on Netflix. Like when it goes on Netflix, it's gonna catch fire. Maybe we'll have to include it on Movie Club, but it was really, really good. I just really enjoyed that, so I highly recommend that. If anybody out there has seen Patty Cakes, hit us up on Twitter at Make Movies Great. Let us know if you liked it. That would be cool. Yeah. That's awesome. That sounds good. I want to check that out. I'm hoping it comes out to some streaming Hulu or Netflix. I'm telling you, it's like made. It's made for like to be played on Netflix. Gotcha. It's not too long. I think it's like only an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, which is short in nowadays movies and stuff. So,
Adam, you read your list, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna tell me you liked Life more than Baby Driver?
No, I just did. I mean, I just didn't put it on there because you guys had already put it on there.
Okay.
I wanted to add something that wasn't included that I liked.
I got you. Okay. Yeah.
But I did like Life. You saw it. We saw that together.
Yes, we saw it together, and the ending saved it for me. But
yes, exactly. It took the words right out of my mouth. The ending of that movie was different than what was expected, and it definitely kicked it up a notch.
But I do mean it saved it for me, because if it ended in the other way, and I don't want to do spoilers, I guess.
I haven't seen Life.
If it ended the other way, I'd be like, this movie
probably
sucked.
The best aspect of it.
Sucked. If it ended the other way, it would have sucked.
I need to watch that now. I don't know what took me so. I don't know what's taking me so long to see that goddamn movie. I've been wanting to see it.
It's also one of those things where they could release an alternate ending. And I don't know, do you guys own DVDs with alternate endings? Is it roulette?
No. You have to like Prometheus, right? Adam, Prometheus has an alternate ending?
Yeah,
it's like not huge. It's more like a deleted scene.
Yeah, it's an option to see.
Yeah, it needs to be a roulette.
Like you just watch it and like something just the way it goes.
Like I think Clue was like that.
Well, Clue had 12 different
Yeah,
endings
exactly.
or whatever. Yeah.
But I think it like depending on, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that I'm trying to think what movies I have. I gotta imagine one of these movies that I have has an alternate ending. But I know that like I've gone in and watched like Get Out's alternate ending is you just go watch the alternate ending. You don't.
Right, exactly.
You don't get to put it on the movie.
I just think it'd be fun. Like that's kind of a reason to watch.
No, yeah, it would be fun. It would totally be fun.
Yeah, I put Get Out, Baby Driver, Wonder Woman. I mean, these 3 movies blew me away this year.
I think like the reason why I didn't put Wonder Woman on mine because I figured one of you guys,
Right.
both of you guys have it on there, and I had to put Baby Driver because I think that's my favorite movie of the year. Like that's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I think those 3 right there, Get Out, and Adam, do you agree? Like Get Out, Baby Driver, Wonder Woman. Those are like the big.
If I had to pick a top 3, those would be my top 3.
They were critically acclaimed and they did super well at the box office, which is, that doesn't
totally
happen that
common.
often.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not totally
I mean, of course, like the superhero movies always go gangbusters at the box office, but they're not always like super high like rated. Like they get mid scores like for, ratings and Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. But Wonder Woman, I'm pretty sure hers is still lower 90s, if not upper 80s, if not lower 90s.
Probably.
I know Baby Drivers is in the 90s. I know Get Out is like 97%
still?
on Rotten Tomatoes, something like that.
If I had to put a number 4 though from my list, it would probably be Lego Batman.
I still have to
I
see
heard
Lego
that
Batman.
was really good.
I can't wait.
Lego Batman is awesome.
I gotta watch that. I'm also now that Lego Ninja movie's coming out, I'm super excited for that as well because I think that the Lego people, because the first Lego movie was awesome too.
Wonder Woman's
Yeah.
92 in Rotten.
Not 92, so yeah, low 90s. That's awesome.
That's really good.
That's probably where it's gonna settle too. Honestly, like that's where it'll be forever.
I put on my list Spider-Man, but then I quickly deleted it and realized it was.
Yeah,
would
Spider-Man.
be good.
Spider-Man's gonna be my second half. Probably like whole for the year. I really enjoyed Spider-Man as well.
I fucking love Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was great. It was awesome.
And we didn't do a spoiler cast about it, so I don't even feel bad talking about it right now. But the villain was unreal.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys want to talk about? Do you guys want to all pull an audible and talk about Spider-Man right now?
Well, I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We can do a couple minutes.
Yeah,
We got
because
time.
Adam, we were on a roll last week and we got fucking cut short from my stupidity.
Yeah.
But so you want to talk about the villain? Let's talk about the villain, Michael Keaton.
Okay, so if I did a villain thing, Marvel villains
Yeah.
last week, I can't remember my exact list, but Michael Keaton probably. Honestly, he was my favorite villain in a Marvel movie.
So far,
Yeah.
like all of all these Marvel movies.
Yeah. You know why? Because he was different from the hero. It wasn't like we talked about earlier, Hulk versus Abomination.
Yeah.
Or like Winter Soldier versus Captain America, or Iron Man versus Warmonger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a different villain. Like it wasn't like the only thing that can match Spider-Man is a
Yes.
Venom. or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you know
Sure.
what I mean?
Sure.
And I thought it was really cool, and he was you empathize with him.
Yeah.
I thought his motivations were cool.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Just so everybody's listening, we're probably going to get into spoiler territory. Just so you know.
well, yeah, okay. Because my next sentence was.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so I'll give everybody a chance to shut down, scramble, come to the stop sign that's coming up, or the stop sign, or the stoplight. Okay, spoiler alert. Love the fact that he didn't die.
Yes.
Loved it.
Loved also the fact that he kind of covered Peter Parker's ass in prison.
So, okay, do you think he covered his ass, or do you think he wanted to save it for when he got out of jail?
No, I think he's all about Peter Parker right now.
I think so too.
I think he's smitten.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? He saved his daughter, saved his life. He gets, and then right afterwards, he's like, "Your family, Tombs, your family's here." You know what I mean? So kind of hinting he gets to see his family again.
Yes.
because of Peter Parker.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
That was what's most important.
And the same, what you were just saying, Sean, how it wasn't that Spider-Man and the Vulture were at odds. It was the fact that, Spider-Man needed to stop Vulture because he's doing bad things.
Yeah.
And Vulture just wanted to keep doing his own. He didn't necessarily have a thing against Spider-Man, what he was doing.
He was
he didn't have a
beating
thing
the crap out of Spider-Man, then he was like, "Oh, right, my main goal is to make
to get
money."
this. Yeah,
so
to get
went
this stuff.
to-
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it. Second favorite favorite villain. Second favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah? So what's your number one Marvel?
First one is Iron Man.
Iron Man,
because
number
it
one.
set off the whole thing, and I thought it was so
Yes,
well done. I
yes.
loved how Iron Man was conceived.
I have to agree with you.
Favorite one. Second one, Homecoming. by a mile.
Yeah?
By a mile.
I think it's definitely in my top 5. It's tough for me to put it over Winter Soldier. I think Winter Soldier is my favorite.
You know I'm not a
I know,
Captain
I know
America
you're
fan,
not.
so,
Yeah.
So I get that. I get that.
But it's definitely in my top 5. It could even like maybe depending on how I'm feeling, it could be like number 3. But it's hard for me to put behind. I like Iron Man number 1, and I think that Winter Soldier is like this
Number
is
2 for
awesome.
You.
Yeah.
Adam, how do you feel about it?
I loved it. I really loved it. It's definitely in my top 5 also, and I'm signing with Matt. My favorite Marvel movie is absolutely Winter Soldier. And 2 is probably the original Iron Man.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man might be 3. I loved it. And I loved, and Matt and I were talking about this in the podcast, I loved Michael Keaton as the villain. Tom Holland was
perfect.
He's the perfect Spider-Man.
Yes.
But Spider-Man, the original I loved the original Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I wish I could see that movie done with Tom Holland being Spider-Man and still with Willem Dafoe as the Goblin, because Willem Dafoe as the Goblin put that movie over the top for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that point. That was a really good movie. That was like one of the first major
superhero movies.
Aside from maybe X-Men.
No, it was the one that kicked it off.
It was the first one that wasn't Batman or Superman.
I mean, they had the X-Men movies too, but this was the one that kicked off the superhero craze easily.
And people liked Spider-Man 2 better.
That's crazy.
That is a higher rating.
The one with Doc Ock? No,
yeah,
I can't. The first one with Green.
I like Doc Ock.
We had Green Goblin on our list of villains last week.
Yeah,
for best villains.
Yeah, I remember that.
Really good villain.
Yeah, it was really
good villain.
His costume was a little goofy, but it was good.
The Vulture and his crew
was very 1999.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That's not when that movie came out.
No,
I think it was.
No, 2003.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But it totally was 99. I mean, you nailed that statement. But it definitely was not.
Totally did it on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not coming up. I'm almost positive it's 2003.
2002.
2002. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this movie was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So when he gets again, guys, spoiler territory. When Tom Holland gets dropped off by Aunt May, super hot Aunt May, and and he walks up to pick up oh god, I forget her name now. Who's the loving Liz?
Did you think what?
What did you think when he first opens the door? When it's Michael Keaton, were you super surprised, or did you kind of know?
My initial thought was, this son of a bitch took this family hostage.
Yes, thank you, Adam.
That's what I thought.
Adam, is that not what I said to you last week?
No, that's exactly what you said. I thought when I saw him, I was like, "Oh man, it's her dad."
No.
When I first saw him, I'm like, holy fuck, he's calculated.
You know why? Because when they're sitting there. Okay, hold on. Let me put this together. Toombs is watching the TV, and he sees on the TV that whatever Olympiad or whatever the academic decathlon thing was saved by Spider-Man. I thought he was starting to put it together.
Yes.
And he did a little further research or something. Does that make me racist? Because I didn't think he was that girl's father.
Oh, I mean, it might be a little bit racial bias, maybe.
Maybe I wasn't like, oh no way, right? So he must have taken him hostage.
It was probably written in the script.
Anyways, I thought that was such a good twist.
It was like I saw it with Neil.
Yeah.
And then when Neil said that first of all, Neil said he knew as soon as he was getting out of the car. Yeah, you said that too, Adam, didn't you? You knew?
No.
I don't know. So Neil said
out of the car.
Neil said he could tell when he got out of the car when he was walking to the front door. He could tell.
No.
He said it.
Yeah, Neil says a lot.
So Neil said he knew when he first opened the door. I was like, "Holy fuck!" He's taking them hostage.
That's what I thought.
They're tied up, and he's about to do the same thing to Peter Parker. And then that wasn't the case, and he ended up being the father. And I was like, "Oh my!" And that whole scene of him in the car driving to the dance, the homecoming dance, was the tension. You could cut it with a knife.
No, it was really good. And Holland did a good job of just I liked how distracted he was, and even was it the carnation or whatever?
Yeah, and he's just like
he's just like,
and he's not even looking at her, like taking the pictures.
Done. Yeah,
he's just like looking off in the distance.
You want to hear something interesting? I didn't mention this on the podcast last time. I thought they were gonna, after the Michael Keaton reveal, I thought they were gonna double down on reveals, and we were gonna find out that Michelle, Zendaya's character. So I thought this is how it was going to play out, that Michelle was going to be Liz's sister, because now we know it's a biracial couple.
Okay.
So I thought Michelle was going to be the younger sister.
Wait, Michelle who?
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Oh, right.
MJ at the end. I thought it was going to end up being a sister, and now she's going to want revenge on Spider-Man. So
Oh, that's interesting.
That came across my bow. But obviously, I was off.
Yeah.
I
thought that was a really cool shout out, but the director, I think, confirmed that she's not being Mary Jane.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Obviously, her name is Michelle, but she is not to be taken as Mary Jane.
So when she
Watson.
said at the end, MJ,
it was a total quote
just-
unquote coincidence.
Sure.
But I thought that was really cool. Hey guys, let me ask you a question. What do you think about Spider-Man having to not be able to naturally produce the webs?
I like it.
You like it?
I absolutely like it.
So it gives him a kind of...
It makes him less super.
Yeah, which is cool.
The thing is, like, if he could produce the web stuff on his own, like, he could just do whatever he wanted.
but
Like,
what
it
if
gives
he-
limitations.
But what if he could produce it on his own, but it gave him limitations? Like he
Yeah.
couldn't produce a ton, so
Yeah.
now he had to wait a few hours.
But then you don't
now he
get,
just
like,
clicks
all
it
the
out.
cool
Click, click.
taser, web.
Yeah, there's whatever 100
Yeah.
configurations.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally I like my Spider-Man with natural
Really?
web.
Okay, I guess that doesn't really bother me that much. I like the mechanical webs.
I think it's cool, but like my question is, I needed, and I know this is like ridiculous to ask of these movies. I need a little bit more explanation of how he got that formula.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's like all of a sudden he's like taking notes and he's like mixing it under the
Yeah.
desk. Like I was like, well, okay, but what? Did he produce like a little bit one time and
I
he replicated
think
it?
that
or-
he was just making it in class. Like, he already has that recipe. I think he was just making
That's
it in
an
class.
unbelievable invention.
Yeah, I know, but then they basically gave his backstory in like 2 lines when him and Ned are walking down the street.
Yeah.
They were talking about being bit by a spider,
Oh, it was
and
great.
Ned's
No,
like,
no,
"Is that
no.
spider still around?" He's like, "I don't know." He's
So-
like,
oh,
"The
he
spider's
said,
dead."
Spider's
Ned.
dead.
Yeah, spider's
and he's
dead.
like, and then he's like, "What do you? What did he ask him? Do you give birth to tons of babies?" Or what did he say?
Oh yeah. So the Ned
And he
was
laughs.
great. Ned
Can
was
you
great.
can you
That
summon
was-
an army of spiders?
Yes.
Yeah, there was that one too.
The
yeah.
guy in the chair. I love
guy-
it.
the
The
guy
guy
in
in
the
the chair. I love it. I hope he's in more. I really
Tombs
hope
had a
Ned's
guy
in
in the
more.
chair.
Tomb's guy in the chair was really
The
good.
Tinkerer.
I was just gonna get. Is that his like? Is
Yeah.
that was his
Yeah.
Yeah, that-
Tinkerer?
Character.
Notice that genius guy creating all these weapons was just working for a scrap metal
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
I love the working class villain.
Yeah.
I love
his whole. I mean, his whole thing, like anti, like
Yeah.
these assholes that created this problem.
These guys are just
making-
scrappers, like mechanics. Like, it makes me feel like I could go down to Valley Street and see my dad, and like if I walk in on him without letting him know, he's like working on a vulture cop, like a vulture thing, and he's like actually stealing things from
Yeah, absolutely.
the real life Avengers.
But that quote, he's like, now the same assholes that made the mess are gonna get paid to clean it up.
Yeah,
That's like so.
yeah. That was really heartbreaking the first time when he was like trying to like level with him. He's like, "Listen, I got a family. Like, we bought trucks. We
Shouldn't overextend yourself.
like
He's
that.
really?
Yeah, that was great. And that's how you that right there. That one scene when they're cleaning up the scrap metal. That's how you create a real good villain right there
Yeah.
instantly. You have the drive, you have the reason why, and then you like a guy that like you give like backstory to him.
He's a reluctant villain.
Yes.
He doesn't.
Yes.
He's not
Yes.
inherently evil.
Yes. He's not out there.
Even he killed a guy and didn't mean to. He thought it was anti-gravity.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes.
But he wanted
So
to
it's
kill
still.
Spider-Man because he was coming between him and his family's prosperity.
I think that Peter Parker calls on the Vulture in Infinity Wars 4.
Would be awesome.
The fourth
No.
one. Yes. Avengers 4,
Get the
I think
Chitauri
Peter Parker
weapons
calls
back.
on Toombs.
We need Chitauri weapons. I know just the guy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
How cool was that tie-in from Vulture from the first Avengers?
Yeah, that was really cool. That
Starting
like
it off, like
touch your back.
we were just talking about the scene when they're salvaging from.
Oh, right,
Avengers,
yeah.
Avengers 1 War. I
yes.
thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to add to the webbing thing. I liked how the Amazing Spider-Man gave Andrew Garfield his webbing. Like, he gets bit by the spider, and he's stumbling through Oscorp where they have this insanely strong web-like material, and he steals a bunch of it and then works it out on his own to make the web shooters.
So okay, that's all I needed really. I mean,
Right.
that's like I don't know.
Like he didn't just make it out of thin air. He got the material and then did something with it. He just didn't make it in his fucking science lab.
I guess that doesn't bother me that much. I don't know.
No. Listen, you just heard me say it's my second favorite.
No, I
Marvel film.
know.
I just think I needed a little bit more there, and the guy's fucking Spider-Man. He's flinging from buildings like suspension of disbelief. I get it. I just need a little more on that.
I just want to touch on again how I think that Michael Keaton is going to join them in the Avengers 4. How awesome would it be for Iron Man, Rocket, and Toomes to like be buddies, like making shit?
Cool.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And then Stark hires the Tinkerer.
I know, right? That guy didn't go down at the end either. That guy's floating around somewhere.
Yeah.
Making shit.
And also the big like
They're gonna bust him out of jail.
definitely. In the end, the big like plan at the end to take the plane down. I didn't see that coming either.
No, that was nuts. I didn't see it being Stark's plane.
I didn't know that was like what the big plan. They kept saying
it's
the
just
high
the
altitude,
moving,
the high altitude vacuum thing.
Vacuum seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really clever. I thought that was really.
How awesome are those like 4 cubes? You could just the guy put on the fridge and reached in and grabbed the.
That's all you need.
So awesome.
That's all you
That
need.
would be so awesome.
That's ridiculous.
That would be so cool.
Oh man! All right. So
Yeah,
that was a
I
little hidden spoiler cast.
Yeah, a little hidden spoiler.
Can I just
cast.
say what I'm watching? I actually finally watched Doctor Strange.
So what did you think?
Didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Oh man, Adam, what's your stance on Doctor Strange?
I wasn't the biggest fan of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, and
I didn't dislike it. Okay, hold on. I said I didn't like it. I don't know. I didn't hate it, but it was just kind of like. So you talk about limitations on Spider-Man. I just feel like there's no limitations with these guys.
with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of limitations.
You know?
Sean, the character Doctor Strange, did you feel like we got that guy with Iron Man? Smart and cocky. And,
yeah.
But Iron Man can't turn back the clock.
Yeah,
Huh?
what I need Strange to become is not cocky. I need him to become like
Pragmatic.
yeah, Stark. I used to be cocky like you, but now I know like there's a whole fucking ridiculous amount of dimensions of
at the end
problems.
of Doctor Strange, he's like interviewing Thor just to make sure he's not doing any funny business.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really dislike it. I thought Mads Mikkelsen's villain could have been more cooler. I thought that his villain felt restrained. His villain.
You think he felt restrained?
I
could see that.
With the villain, it was between pick one. You know what I mean? Is it Mads or is it Dormammu? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
There was almost like there wasn't enough of either.
Well, Mads was really just a vessel for Dormammu.
He was, and Dormammu was like way too powerful for Doctor Strange to take on at first. So, but I still felt like it was like Doctor Strange gets his ass. Okay, here's another problem I had with Doctor Strange. It was like he has years of training. Do we agree?
What do you mean? Like Strange has years of training?
Tilda Swinton's character goes, well, "How did you become a doctor?"
Oh yes.
And he goes, "Years of training and
practice."
And she
yeah.
goes, "Well," and then like we're kind of led to assume that he's like undergoing years of training, of reading and training.
But the other thing, so you have to remember this. Oh no, go on, finish your thought.
And then one day he's like messing around with the Infinity Stone, and they're like, "What the hell, man? That's not what we do here." And he's like, "Well, why don't you tell me what we do?" And then like everything else happens in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So
he becomes master in 24 hours.
Well, he's just like, I mean, yeah, like they show up like, oh my god, the base in London's getting attacked, and then he's over there, and all of a sudden he's in a time loop in Dormammu.
But that's just like a piece of the hero's journey and like star pupil thing. Like, you know, like he's the reason why he's an Avenger and not those other schlubs that were like training up in the mountains is because he picked up on all this shit pretty quick.
Yeah, but I just didn't like the pacing of. Again, they didn't confirm how many years he trained.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Like, I'm supposed to sit here and think it's been years, and then all of a sudden, literally 24 hours later, Dormammu's somebody who Tilda Swinton has been feeding off of / fighting against. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, I think it'd be cool. I think it'll be cool to have him in future films. And then, of course, I saw Game of Thrones.
Cool.
We'll talk about that.
Very cool. Adam, what have you been watching?
So Game of Thrones, duh. was awesome. Appointment television. I don't know if I've been more excited to watch something ever.
Yeah,
on television.
it was awesome.
Goosebumps when it started.
I saw an interesting statistic about last night's premiere. So it's pretty. I don't know this, but it's safe to assume that the season 6 premiere was, at that point, the highest rated HBO series premiere of all time. Right? Would you guys agree with that?
If I had to guess, I'd say yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the season 7 premiere, the viewership went up 50%.
That's crazy.
From the season 6 premiere.
That's nuts.
Tells you how many people binged the entire series in the last year and a quarter.
Yep.
Right. That's insane. I think it got 16 change million viewers. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Can I ask you guys a question? Is that TVs tuned in? Because there were 3 people watching the TV that I was at last night.
Yeah, so it's TV's tuned in. It's not.
So it's way more than 16.
Oh, it's way more.
I heard the number was 25 million.
I watched it with 4 people. So.
I heard the official ratings was 16.
Yeah.
But I heard typically it's 25 million pairs of eyes.
Crazy. That's wild.
Wow.
It's a lot of people.
So to speak.
It's a lot of people watching one TV show. Definitely appointment TV. I watched it as well.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Have you watched Glow?
I also. Yeah, so I watched Glow on Netflix. It's about the gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Yes.
It looks awesome.
It is great. If you don't, the wrestling is sort of sprinkled in, which is cool. I like wrestling. I'm watching WWE right now.
You do?
I watch wrestling, so that's what got me into it. And there's a women's revolution happening in wrestling right now, which is really awesome. But this is a show, a comedy, based on women's wrestling in the 80s. So there's the main character is Ruth, and she's an actress, and she can't get a part, and so she ends up going to this casting call that is Glow. And this director played by Mark Maron is putting together a female wrestling television show to sort of combat the Hulk Hogan era of wrestling, but with women. And I've never seen Mark Maron in anything before, but that guy is fucking hysterical. It's like he doesn't have a script. He's so funny. And then there's the producer of the show is this guy named Bash. So there's only 2 men in the show, really. And they're both really funny, but the ensemble of female characters is perfect. It has every skew of female character you can think of, and their chemistry together is amazing. And then, like I said, the wrestling element takes it to the next level for me.
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I've been wanting to watch it.
They're so quick. They're half-hour episodes. You fly through them. I finished the series in 2 or 3 sittings.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So that's a highly recommend. And I also started watching season 2 of The Path on Hulu. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I mentioned it before. It's about life in a cult. It stars Aaron Paul and Michelle Monaghan and Hugh Dancy, and it's really good. It's shown from the perspective of inside the cult. So it's the drama. They call it a movement. So it's the drama that's happening within the cult or the movement to keep it alive. And their the Michelle Monaghan grew up in it, so it's all she knows. And Aaron Paul is her husband, and he came aboard when he was he was lost. He was a teenager. He really needed something, so he joined, and he spent 20 years of his life in it. And so it's about him having doubts and them trying to take their movement more public.
But
there's also the element of is this real? You know what I mean? Is this actually, because some of the things that they say in it are I'm watching the show, I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe people buy into this stuff. But some of the things that happen in the show are is this real? Are they right on some sort of level? So it has that element to it too. It's cool.
Nice.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, Matt, what are you watching?
So Game of Thrones, obviously. And I've been watching the new season of Shameless.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen it, but I'd like to someday.
It's a wild show. Most of it's on Netflix, except for the new season. But it's a wild show. You should check it out.
It's on Netflix. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Yeah, it's great. The majority of the shows on it. I think there's 6 seasons on Netflix, and the 7th season is the only one that you can't see on Netflix. The 7th. So that's about it. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Gundam still. Trying to cruise through that. I've watched 8 complete series of Gundam, and I'm not even halfway through yet. And like each one has like 2 or 3 seasons to it. So I'm not even halfway through yet, but I'm cruising. I'm really enjoying it though. It's good stuff. Lindy actually got me some manga for my birthday. Some Gundam manga for my birthday.
Ooh,
it's
so hop into that world. It's always in Barnes and Noble. The manga section's always next to the graphic novels, and I always peek over, but I've never actually gotten anything.
So there's this new. It's relatively new compared to some of the old Gundam shows. It's called Thunderbolt, and what's cool about Thunderbolt is that it's scored with all jazz music.
Huh.
It's wild. It's really cool to watch. It's this one. Yeah, this one right here. I'm showing Sean it. I have it in my hand. So, and I also have that manga as well, the Thunderbolt manga, which obviously the jazz doesn't know. The jazz does not get through to me when I'm reading it, but in the actual show, like so. How they do it from Japan with these things is like, so this is called December Sky. It's like a movie. It's like the first 3 on video movies. So they sell them in stores in Japan, and then they put them all 3 together and they dub them and send them to America. So that's this right here. So it's a movie, but it's like really just 3 shorts all put together. So and most of the time they have like additional scenes, they have more music, things like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's what I've been watching. That's
eclectic mix this week.
Yeah, very eclectic mix. So I think we're gonna end it right there.
I also wanted to add one more thing.
Yeah.
I have finished Dune.
Oh, but you haven't though, right? Aren't there more books?
I finished Dune, but there are 5 more books that I will not be reading anytime soon. Not that I didn't like it, I really enjoyed it. It's just I've got other things in my reading queue, and even still, like out of the 5 remaining, I might read the next 2 and call it quits because I sort of peeked ahead.
Yeah, do some research.
And I peeked ahead and it started to get ridiculous. Like, spoiler alert, the main character in this one, one of his children or something, grows up and he becomes some sort of half man, half sandworm god. And that, like, you know, I'm cool with the sandworms and the magic and the futuristic stuff, but I don't know. That started to get a little ridiculous for me.
That's wild.
And the entire series takes place over thousands of years.
That's nuts. So Sean took off his headphones because he didn't want to hear any spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sean.
You're safe, Sean. Put him back on. All right, guys. Let's end it there. Let's talk about Okja. We're going to go over into Movie Club and talk about Okja, and we will release our new Movie Club movie there. Or if you want to subscribe to our mailing list, it's bit.ly/join Movie Club, or just go to averagenobodies.com, and there's a tab. It says Movie Club right at the top of the page. Click it. Go to the form. All you have to do is put in your name and your email, and that's it. You're signed up. So go to do it. And remember, the past can hurt, but you can either run from it or learn from it. That's it for this week on Make Movies Great Again. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one.